Have you heard about the another loneliness epidemic, which is the seniors?
Adam,
loneliness.
this sounds incredibly depressing.
It does, but there's a happy ending.
Okay. Yeah, I often actually think about lonely seniors. Yeah.
You remember, like, I don't know if you were ever in like Girl Scouts or something like that, but I remember.
A brownie.
Were you a brownie?
Yeah.
Did you ever go to like the Royal Legion or whatever in your neighborhood and like carve pumpkins with them or whatever?
I was one of the first. I have to say this.
Tell me.
I was one of the first brownies to wear pants, rather than a skirt. I don't think I was like the first one, but I was one of the first ones because I didn't feel comfortable in a skirt and because my legs were
That
so
is
thick.
actually a big deal.
Yeah.
That's
what my mom
actually
told
a
me,
big
though,
deal.
Maybe she's just like making it up to make me feel more comfortable, but I liked my pants.
Yeah, I knew you were gay.
Yeah.
I knew she was gay when she was wearing those pants at brownies.
I had to make her pants or she wouldn't go. I had to put her in the little sweatpants.
Did she have to make you the pants?
Yeah,
she made you the pants?
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. But sorry, let's talk about lonely
God
seniors,
bless
not
college.
lonely children.
So,
right.
so this is an article from the New York Times, and it's a group in Brussels, and it says it was well past midnight on a recent weekend at the Murano Club in central Brussels, pulsing with energy. A DJ played bass-heavy music with a West African tilt. People downed shots at the bar, and red lights streamed across the crowded dance floor. And among the revelers in a crop top, short skirts, and high heels, there was one group that stood out. Gray-haired retirement home residents, many in their 80s or 90s.
Stop.
The men wore suits with pocket handkerchiefs, and the women, in mascara and red lipstick, wore chunky necklaces and tops with sequins.
Okay.
So
was there a flock of them out?
Like a whole group of them. So there's a guy, his name's Mr. Vander Walen. He's a retired carpenter, and he has started a organization for seniors to go out and be social.
I love that.
And it's called Poppy Boom. And Poppy Boom is a reference to the generation that occurred right after World War II, who, Belgium known for its poppies.
Yeah.
There was a baby boom right after World War II. So they were the Poppy Boomers. And it's a Belgian nonprofit, and it aims to to help alleviate loneliness among older people. And,
I love that.
And so they go for little outings. They go to the seaside, they go to restaurants, they go to concerts. And they thought, I guess they said that these things were becoming a little stale, guys.
Mm-hmm. So
they said, why not a nightclub? And so I just thought you would find this hilarious and it will warm your heart. They've organized 5 nightclub outings since 2023. Strongly positive reviews.
Really?
They've also done hot air balloon rides, video game nights, and day raves, tell me about a day rave. I know you've been to one.
Yes.
What's it like?
I was at one last week.
Yeah, of course you were. In London, right?
No, here.
Oh,
in
here.
Toronto. But I'm not often at them. It just happened to be. It's just music in the day, in the sun.
And it's fun?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Also, I like that because, after 11 o'clock these days, I'm pretty tired.
I also think that we always assume that older folks want to go do these, these.
Bingo.
Yeah. And they still want to dance. They still want to explore. They still want to be curious. They still want to check out new things. And it's you don't stop living after 50 or 60. And it's also connection is so important. And I think that we're seeing a loneliness epidemic for seniors, but also people in general. So, having the intersection of also generations. I think that's beautiful. I messaged you a couple of years ago, maybe. And I said, do you remember this? I was like, do you know any retirement?
Yes, I do remember that.
When I first started DJing, I wanted to DJ.
Retirements.
But I think there's a lot of security clearances.
Yes, I think there is.
Yeah. Which I mean, I wouldn't fail them, but I just,
Well,
sorry.
I just think.
Would you come to it, right?
So it's interesting because they pile into this club and they go at 11. Now imagine how tiring that is for a senior.
11 p.m.
11 p.m. they show up at this club.
Let's go, Nanny.
They got volunteers and 6 retirement home workers came with them on the bus. The club itself has mirrored hallways, and it's been one of the most famous clubs in Brussels since the 1980s. And they said within minutes, several residents were grooving on the dance floor as waiters served bottles of Moet and Chandon champagne with sparkler flares shooting out of the top, as you do when you get bottle service, right? And they did not charge the residents or the staff for the night out.
Yeah.
And I guess people were kind of looking at it like, what? And then they started dancing with them.
Yeah.
And having the best time. And this is my favorite part.
known as grinding.
Oh,
Yeah.
Still, the realities of the old age meant there were some challenges in the club. Hearing aids had to be removed because of the loud
Oh,
bass.
too loud. Yeah.
Some residences were using canes or recovering from broken hips. Trips to the bathroom down a dark staircase, as you would in a nightclub, required assistance from members of the security staff.
Accessibility, absolutely. Yeah.
And one member of the group briefly lost consciousness after drinking too much.
I was about to say, did anybody get like too wild? That would, yeah.
Yeah, took him to the hospital, but she was fine.
Blackouts still happen when you're older, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you get a little,
Absolutely.
saucy. I love that.
Isn't that cool? I just thought that was cool. I'm like, like that is what, if I'm lucky enough to make it to being a senior, like I feel like that's how I want it to go.
I bet seniors party harder than all of us. Absolutely. They also have expertise to do it.
Well, so funnily enough, my parents are own a place in a retirement community in Florida. One of the issues they have down there are STIs.
Yeah, STIs
because
is huge,
because you can't get pregnant, and so you're unprotected.
They're out there.
And so they had this boom of STIs that they were not expecting from that age demographic.
They're all swinging around the neighborhood.
100%. They got partners that passed away and they're lonely and
cruising on their golf carts.
Yes.
Hooking up with each other.
Yes.
Senior sex. Yeah.
Listen, good for you, man. That's what I want to be doing that.
In a hot climate.
It's Florida.
Perusing.
You've made it.
Yeah.
You're hanging around palm trees.
Yeah.
There's Doris over there looking pretty
Grandpa.
good.
Go ahead.
Had a crush on Doris for 50 years.
Okay, all right.
Come on now.
Yeah. Okay, I was getting carried away there. Sorry. But anyways, yeah. Thank you. That story did make me feel
Did it
good.
make you feel good? So listen, if you were like, the one thing I wanted to ask you about this, because we talked about this a few weeks ago when we talked about when's the last time you tried something new, right? Remember we talked about that. We had a topic. It was like a month and a half ago, whatever it was. And in my 30s, I'm like, I don't know. And here are these guys in their 80s and 90s going, yeah, you know what? Let's go to the most famous nightclub in Brussels history.
I think that is proof that you need to do something new.
I think it is.
In the next month, Adam, I'm going to give you a clock here.
A bucket list?
Yeah. You need to try something new.
Okay.
I'll go skydiving this year if you try something new in the next
You
month.
will love skydiving. You will love it.
We've had people reach out to go skydiving.
Have they?
When we talked about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I've ignored not them, but I won't be going. I really appreciate it, but I won't be going into the sky. What's happening down here is scary enough.